ॐ ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओम ओम नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्ध ज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ गुरुपुङ्गवपुङ्गवकेतनते समतामयतां नहि कोऽपि सुधे शरणागतवत्सलतत्त्वनिधे भव शंकर देशिक मे शरणम्। समस्त ब्रह्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो नमः। ऋषिभ्यो नमः। मुनिभ्यो नमः। गुरुभ्यो नमः। अथर्व ऋषये नमः। मंडूक महर्षये नमः। गौड़पादाचार्य सद्गुरवे नमः। आद्य शंकर सद्गुरवे नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। Today we chant the entire Upanishad once. Moola mantras. ओम अथ अथर्ववेदान्तर्गतमाण्डूक्योपनिषद शान्तिमन्त्रः। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु। ओम शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ओम अथ श्री आद्य शंकराचार्यवर्य कृत मंगलाचरण श्लोकद्वयम्। ओम प्रज्ञानां शुप्रतानैः स्थिरचरनिकरव्यापिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगान् स्थविष्ठान् पुनरपि धिषणोद्भासितान् कामजन्यान् पीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् स्वपिति मधुरभुक् मायया भोजयन्नः। मायासङ्ख्यातुरीयं पदं परममृतमजं ब्रह्म यत्तन्नतोऽस्मि। यो विश्वात्मा विदिज विषयान् प्राश्य भोगान् स्थविष्ठान् पश्चाच्चान्यान् स्वमति विभवान् ज्योतिषास्वेन सूक्ष्मान् सर्वानेतान् पुनरपि शनैः स्वात्मनि स्थापयित्वा हित्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् विगतगुणगणः पात्वसौ नस्तुरीयः। ओम ओमित्येतदक्षरमिदगं सर्वं तस्योपव्याख्यानं भूतं भवद्भविष्यत् इति सर्वमोङ्कार एव। यच्चान्यत्रिकालातीतं तदप्योङ्कार एव। सर्वं हि एतद्ब्रह्म अयमात्मा ब्रह्म सोऽयमात्मा चतुष्पात् जागरितस्थानः बहिष्प्रज्ञः सप्ताङ्गः एकोनविंशतिमुखः स्थूलभुक् वैश्वानरः प्रथमः पादः स्वप्नस्थानः अन्तः प्रज्ञः सप्ताङ्गः एकोनविंशतिमुखः प्रविविक्तभुक् तैजसः द्वितीयः पादः। यत्र सुप्तो न कञ्चन कामं कामयते न कञ्चन स्वप्नं पश्यति तत् सुषुप्तं सुषुप्तस्थानः एकीभूतः प्रज्ञानघन एव आनन्दमयो हि आनन्दभुक् चेतोमुखः प्राज्ञः तृतीयः पादः। एष सर्वेश्वरः एष सर्वज्ञः एषोऽन्तर्यामी एष योनिः सर्वस्य प्रभवाप्ययौ हि भूतानां नान्तः प्रज्ञं न बहिष्प्रज्ञं नोभयत प्रज्ञं न प्रज्ञानघनं न प्रज्ञं नाप्रज्ञम् अदृष्टम् अव्यवहार्यम् अग्राह्यम् अलक्षणम् अचिन्त्यम् अव्यपदेश्यम् एकात्मप्रत्ययसारं प्रपञ्चोपशमं शान्तं शिवम् अद्वैतं चतुर्थं मन्यन्ते स आत्मा सविज्ञेयः सोऽयमात्मा अधि अक्षरम् ओङ्कारः अधिमात्रं पादामात्राः मात्राश्च पादाः अकार उकारो मकार इति जागरितस्थानः वैश्वानरः अकारः प्रथमा मात्रा आप्तेः आदिमत्वाद्वा आप्नोति ह वै सर्वान् कामान् आदिश्च भवति य एवं वेद स्वप्नस्थानः तैजसः उकारः द्वितीया मात्रा उत्कर्षात् उभयत्वाद्वा उत्कर्षति ह वै ज्ञानसन्ततिं समानश्च भवति न अस्य ब्रह्मवित्कुले भवति य एवं वेद सुषुप्तस्थानः प्राज्ञः मकारः तृतीया मात्रा मितेः अपीतेः वा मिनोति ह वा इदगं सर्वम् अपीतिश्च भवति य एवं वेद अमात्रः चतुर्थः अव्यवहार्यः प्रपञ्चोपशमः शिवः अद्वैतः एवं ओङ्कारः आत्मा एव संविशति आत्मना आत्मानं य एवं वेद ॐ अजमपि जनियोगं प्रापदैश्वर्ययोगात् अगति जगति मत्तां प्रापदेकं ह्यनेकं विविधविषयधर्मग्राहिमुग्धे क्षणानां प्रणतभय विहन्तृब्रह्म यत्तन्नतोऽस्मि प्रज्ञावैशाखवेधक्षुभितजलनिधेः वेदनाम्नोऽन्तरस्थं भूतान्यालोक्यमग्नानि अविरतजननग्राहघोरे समुद्रे कारुण्यादुद्धधारामृतमिदम् अमरैर्दुर्लभं भूतहेतोः यस्तं पूज्याभिपूज्यं परमगुरुममं पादपातैर्नतोऽस्मि यत्प्रज्ञालोकभासा प्रतिहति मगमत् स्वान्तमोहान्धकारः मज्जोन्मज्जच्च घोरेः असकृत् उपजनोदन्वतित्रासने मे यत्पादावाश्रितानां श्रुतिशमविनय प्राप्तिरग्राह्यमोघा तत्पादौ पावनीयौ भवभयविनुदौ सर्वभावैर्नमस्ये ओम शांति 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 ओम अथ चतुर्थम अलात शांति प्रकरणम let us salute the entire gurus every moment we should be in touch with the goal the god the guru they only remind us the subject which we have to study contemplate meditate and reach out to as our experience. These three mantras, as we are studying, so important with regarding to the context. Jnanecha trivide gneye kramena vidite swayam sarvajnata hi sarvatra bhavatiha mahadiyah. Then ध्येया ज्ञेयाप्यवाक्यानि विज्ञेयानि अग्रयाणतः तेषामन्यत्र विज्ञेयात् उपलम्बः त्रिषु स्मृतः. So we have seen in this mantra heya, jneya, apya, pakya. These are the things about which by listening to the Shastra from the Guru, one jignasu, a person who want to have knowledge, person who want to have the mukti, first and foremost, thoroughly, clearly, doubtlessly, completely must understand. That is the meaning of agrayanatah vigneyani. First and foremost, we must understand. As we exhaustively dealt with it day before yesterday, so too in every field of the world also, whatever the goal you want to achieve, for that, what is to be given up, what is to be known, what is to be taken up, what is to be eliminated, we must know very clearly. This is the main mantra, main line, first one. In the second one, for the doubt, answer is given. Ki tesham anyatra vigneyat upalambah trishu smrtah means what? In the absolute truth, other than the truth, all other things are only for vyavahara, only for sadhana. They are also part of the avidya only. part of the Maya only, and the part of non existing only, and finally to be rejected only. Although they are the only ways and means by which we are able to do sadhana. The other three, other than the Gneya Vastu. Therefore, just because we said they are the Gneya Vastu, they have to be known, we have to become conscious of them, and by become conscious of them, slowly merge the gross in the subtle, subtle in the causal, bypass the causal. When we said, it doesn't mean that in the truth absolutely they are there. If they continue to be there in the truth, then there's no meaning in truth being one without second. And as long as second is there, there's no meaning for liberation, because the two are there. The second will bind the first will bind the second. Therefore, necessarily they have to be not there, and truly they are not there. They are there at the time of doing sadhana. The other three, what are they? Heya, Apya, and Pakya. Okay, other than Vigneya, the other three are not there. That's the meaning of second line. Tesham Anyatra Vigneyat Trishu Upalambaha Smrtaha. Smrta means is being spoken by the saints and sages who have experienced the truth, that in that these three are not there. They are there before sadhana. So, what are the Heya? The Laukika, Shuddha Laukika, Lokottara. In other words, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, with all their contents, they are worthy of rejection only. How to do? A little thought is given, but on that only one has to develop the total subject. But in and through, they must be known first of all that they must be given up at every cost and price and effect or any effort. You must transcend. Then only the fourth is experience. The problem here is what? If darkness is there, light cannot be. If the light is there, darkness cannot be. You should not desire to see both of them at one go. In the same way, if the three avasthas are there, the turiya cannot be experienced. If the turiya has to be experienced, three should be rejected. Both of them cannot be together. Just like even in these three avasthas also, one cannot be with the other two. If you want to have the waking, dream and deep sleep should not be. So to the other. In the same way, don't demand them to be together. Therefore, with this type of thinking and listening and analyzing our daily experiences, when our intensity of desire for knowing the Turiya becomes stronger, and also through this thinking, which we have just now mentioned, that Turiya can be experienced only when we transcend these three. Therefore, these three are obstructions, these three are hindrances. They are the ones because of which the fourth real Atma is not experienced. When this thought is deeply developed, then the readiness to reject these three avasthas comes. Only when that readiness to give up these three or transcend these three avasthas come, then only the question and answer of how to do so, that will become valid or meaningful for everyone. So these are the few things we have to very clear right from the beginning and become stronger and stronger, deeper and deeper in these understandings and convictions. Bhagavan Shankara, the Bhashyakara, so said only one thing there. Like in the snake, in the rope, there is no snake. By the understanding that there is no snake, only you reject the snake. Asatvena, Rajvam Sarpasya Asatvena, Sarpa na asti iti bhavena, Sarpa ha heyaha. In the same way, in the Atma Vastu, the three are not at all there. Add the other things to this. Not at all there, yet imagined. Not only imagined, given reality. Not only given reality, but indulged in that. By being indulging in these three avasthas, we are totally habitually caught up and bound to be a jiva going through Jagra Swapna Sushupti as a Vishwatayasa Prajna. These have to be continuously thought about, continuously contemplated. He gave one idea, they are not there. Therefore, drop them. We have to think. To be able to drop them, we have to have the readiness to drop. For that, all these analysis, not only they are not there, but they are taken as there, they are given importance, they are given reality, they are given value, and we are going for it. Now, these things about all the three avasthas we can do only when a few things and beings of the world we experiment upon. This thing is not required, but I only thought it is good. Then the goodness of the thing made me that it is nice to have it. The nice to have it thought made me to feel for it. Then it became a desire, then I ran for it and I got it. Otherwise, without that, I would have been safe and happy, comfortable. But unnecessarily, now I got it. It has become a headache to me. Like that, there in our life, there's so many things and people whom we involve and bring problem to us. When we think about those things, the subtle, preparedness comes to us. The readiness to accept comes in us. That just like those things are beings, are situations, are projects. In this entire three avasthas, they are also not only not there, not required also, but if you invoke them, we will be bound in that to such an extent the infinite self is not realized. In this way, each of the sadhaka should do these things only on the seat of contemplation, in which the readiness to transcend these three avasthas come. Then the question how to do and all that, and then each of the aspects in each of the experience of in each of the avastha, we have to devalue them, we have to reject them. And to devalue, reject, what is to be done is given to us in all the Prakarana Granthas. How? By removing the dependency on them. How the dependence is removed? By the discussion that I am the drashta and sakshi. They are drushya, they are saksha, and I am independent of them. They are dependent on me. I can be without them. They can't be without me. In this type of analysis, bar करके, है ना, जड़ चेतन विवेक, दृग दृश्य विवेक, आत्मा आत्म विवेक, then अध्यारोपित अध्यस्त, अधिष्ठान and अध्यारोप विवेक. These are the arrows which you have to continuously use to devalue the importance to these three avasthas. This is the whole thing done. Then the devaluation pulls us away from the triputi of each of these three avasthas. In that calm and quiet mind only, that which is there beyond, behind the mind, and expressed as the mind, the pure conscious self is realized. This is how we have to be very clear about what is to be achieved and how to achieve and what are the preparations for the spiritual evolution. The Heyani, very clear. Jagarita Sapna Sushuptani Atmani Asatvena Rajvam Sarpavatu. Heyani means Hatavyani, means to be ruthlessly rejected and given up. Is it not, as we explained yesterday, day before also, such person never cares for the sleep as a bhoga, nor he gets any of the dream unnecessary, nor in the waking plane. He has importance to any jati, any things and beings or happenings, etc. Absolutely has withdrawn from them. There somewhere he puts his body seated, comfortable position. He rises beyond his body. Inside him, the jiva in him, for recognize his own self, he just contemplates only. Who am I? What am I? What is the meaning of Sattar, Chitar, Ananda? What is the meaning of the Chaitanyatha? No, he is focusing only on that. Then that question takes to the experience. There's no answer to such questions. Experience itself is the answer. But main thing is what? These three are Heyani, these three are Hatavyani. Feel for this sentence as many times as possible. And in an effort to reject these three avasthas itself, an interesting thing happens. The samsara in our mind, the dukkha we gain in this world, the limitations we feel, always either an emptiness or an overflowingness or something is lacking. All the time we are in this frustration only in waking plane. You can never be relaxed in waking plane for more moments. Some desire fulfilled, somebody said, I love you, those 3 moments you may be happy. और उसके बाद like कुत्ते का धुम, we are back to same old misery of craving something, hankering behind something, running for something, expecting something. These are all the variety of diseases of a waker in his waking plane. Chain से बैठे नहीं. It, such life of ours, such a bad example I am giving you, is like a dog with eczema. कुत्ते को एक्जिमा हो गया मानो, खरोचता ही रहता है दिन भर. In waking plane, our life is worse than a kutta only, with the eczema going on, खरोचिंग because of that desire. Desire is eczema. कुछ ना कुछ हमको चाहिए, कुछ खाने को, पीने को, जाने को, आने को, लेने को, देने को, बात करने को. How बेचैन, if in fact, with a little matured Sakshi Bhava, these thing, if it is by some equipment, is a video recorded, a person's mind and behavior in the waking plane. From the little dhyana sthiti, you will see it is exactly like eczema dog only. मॉर्निंग ऑनवर्ड्स उठते ही फिर चाय पी लो, कॉफी लो, ये करो, और वो चुप बैठना यार नहीं हो सकता. And in and through that, looking for small little pleasures, and thinking that that alone is everything. It's like a beggar on the street or कचरे का, उसमें कुछ मिला उसको, वही खाकर वो खुश हो रहा है. Don't you feel something about that? In the same way we are. Through the senses, seeking some objects, and indulging in that, feeling that we are happy. And that beggar, you tell him, hey, don't do that, he'll shout at you. So too, if Guru tells us, what are you getting that reflected happiness in the objects? Go for your own self, which is the nature of happiness. Like that beggar, we also become angry. You don't tell me, we know the sukha is there in that one. So funny we are. All that will go away when we understand that the heyani. And to make us feel that the Jagravastha is heya, that in the Jagravastha, for more period of time, Bhagavan doesn't give us success or sukha. It is his krupa only. Yes, some of it is our prarabdha also, but his intervention also is there. Once we become seekers of truth and devotees to invoke his blessings, he creates such situations. Like, for the Vijaya of the Pandavas and killing of the Kauravas, Lord creates a situation for removing Ravana. So he will see to it that with the sources which he has got, he creates a situation that they are eliminated. In the same way, he is creating everyday such situations for us by which these three avasthas, especially Jagrata, is heya, we should be able to understand. Many people come to that, but for some time. And then whatever the cause for feeling that Jagrata avastha is heya, they change it to something else. Or some of the people say this Jagrata avastha or life is waste, therefore they commit suicide. Both are wrong. What is to be done? The entire Jagrata Avastha is giving misery only, they were worthy of giving up in the discovery of the self. Then he becomes that person, the frustrated fellow became Vairagi. Vairagi, when he consciously becomes Mukshu, that Mumukshu through the knowledge becomes Mukta. Every person who is frustrated in the life, he changes the cause of frustration for something else, thinking that is the source of happiness. This thing also, when he opted for or adopted in the beginning, it also appeared to be the cause of ananda only. It was for some time temporary, then it has become the cause of dukkha. Then he, not knowing that यार इससे दुख मैं सुख सोचा, कुछ तो मिला सुख, लेकिन बाद में दुख इतना है कि मैं इसको छोड़ना ही चाह रहा हूँ. Same will be everything. This thought doesn't come. That's called maya or delusion. That will come only when you are in the class with the Upanishad or all the study under guidance of Guru. He will tell us, and you have to think about, like this one anubhuti for which you went imagining sukha, it gave you dukkha. Everything else also you go for sukha, but you will be ending in only in getting the bondage or dukkha. They will seek none of them. That doesn't mean that you run away from the world or get frustrated or become miserable to die. So that frustration should not make you go to the other thing. Frustration should not make us the suicidal. The frustration should give us vairagya. The fulfillment of vairagya is in seeking then what is permanent, seeking then what is infinite, seeking then what is endless, which is independent. All other sukha are dependent. I have to beg some fellow to tell me I love you. I'm begging some vastu to give me sukha. What a frustrated thing. Can I have something independent? These are all very deep questions. They won't come easily, but once they come, mano aapka zindagi ban gaya. Spiritual evolution shuru ho gaya. But that question, if you can generate, because now the data is given to us, idea is given to you, they will create those questions. What can be permanent? What can be infinite? What can be independent? What is that which lasts with me all the time? So from the Vairagya, when this question comes, then to such person, Guru repeatedly when he teaches the Upanishad, slowly it starts sinking to in him. There is something beyond the grass, the subtle. There is something beyond the subtle, the causal. There is something beyond the causal, the infinite, the cause of all cause. That has to be discovered. And the discovery of that is as my own self. And I am that infinite blissful self. Therefore, all searching, seeking, struggling, everything ends in that. This is what the experienced Guru tells us through help of Shastra. And we slowly have to get belief in that. Slowly we have to start that sadhana. So, behind this one sentence, Heyani, when the Bhashakara said Hatavyani, Trini, Jagra, Sapta, Sushuptuni, behind that, these are the so many things we have to understand with the help of our other Shastras which we studied. So these are हेयानी understood. The feel strongly the इन तीनों अवस्थाओं को मैं त्याग करूं तभी मुझे परमात्मा मिलेंगे, अन्यथा नहीं. नहीं मिलना मुझे परमात्मा, मुझे यहीं रहना है और रहो. बट इसमें जो लिमिटेशन है वो है यू हैव टू बी प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर दैट. आई एम प्रिपेयर्ड, देन कंटिन्यू. यू आर नॉट डूइंग किसी की मेहरबानी है ना. इट्स ओनली ईगो हु सेज आई विल रिमेन ओनली इन दिस, आई डोंट वांट. In a soft way you say, people say, so soft way, all that, but you want to remain in only in your bondage. That's the meaning of it. It's your choice. Nobody, no guru birth, intelligence, maturity binds us or forces us. नहीं नहीं नहीं, तुमको जरूर जागृत अवस्था के सब छोड़कर परमात्मा में आना है. तुम कौन होते मेरे को बोलने को गुरु? The face of the disciple looks like that. And Guru has seen so many such jivas or disciples. He never insists. He says, जब तुमको होगा तभी होगा, जब आना है तब आ जाओ, नहीं आना है तो मत जाओ. He's so wonderful. But if some disciple comes asking for guidance, he will give his entire life only to teach that fellow. So, hey Ani is understood, these three avasthas. Now, don't ask me what are these three avasthas then. Then Sushupti Avastha, where total ignorance of the self and the world. Then Jagra Swapna Avasthas, where not only ignorance of the self, but the projection of the non-existing world, giving it reality, giving it value, expecting Sukha from that, getting identified with that, having Ragadesha for it, planning to possess it or run away from it, doing the work according to it, while doing so using all the intelligence rather misusing, and gathering all the resources. ऑल दिस संसार जहाँ हो रहा है, ये तीनों जागृत स्वप्न सुषुप्ति अवस्थाएं, इनको छोड़ना है. So how much vairagya you must have, And imagine the one who is interested in the politics, interested in the science, interested in any of the thing of the Jagrad Avastha, he'll be interested in that only. His mind will be there. His mind cannot withdraw from that. It can't be quietened. You can't transcend that mind to the see the self. ये हमको समझना है. सब नहीं है लेकिन मन में है बांधते हैं और मनमानी से सब चल रहा है. योस्ति कल्पित समृत्या. These are all mantras we have already chanted earlier. It's only your avesha or abhinivesha that which is making the world appear. Chitta spanditam eva edam dushyam jagat. Don't forget it. This topic is that only. The ALAATHA spandita is Rujuvakra Abhasa, Chitta spandita is Jagra Swapnavastha. Otherwise, they are in the absolute reality not there. But to listen to this statement is like a bomb because so much we are into this world as if it is real. Heyani explained. Then Gneyam iha chatushkoti varchitam parama artha tattvam. Word we have explained yesterday, the supreme essential truth is the only thing to be known. Yeah. But the thing is, when you know it, you become that. When you become that, you experience that as you. In that experience of that as you, I am the experiencer that is experienced. I am contacting it and experiencing it. This type of triputi will not be there. Not required there. Like you have a thing to be known. So you know it. You are the knower. It's a knowledge of that thing. In the Atma Jnana, it is not like that. Knowing is being. Being is knowing. So that is Paramartha Tattvam, the supreme truth behind all these imaginations. But first of all, these are all projections of the mind, imagination of the mind, and in the mind on the Kala and space, they are given importance, and they imagine things only, come into function, because the functioning of the time and place only. The things are born, things are growing, things are modifying, things are dying. All of them are only in the realm of time and place. Time and place are only the concepts of mind. And the mind is a Maya, and beyond mind and Maya is a self. These thoughts, when you 100 times entertain, then only the most powerful thought that how much or substantial real the world is looking like, yet it is mithya, that will be confirmed in us. Then we are ready to give it up. Then what is Paramartha? That's self alone. That's why this is a long journey. Long journey, that also only when you study Vedanta under the guidance of Guru. Shastra, a proper technique. It's a traditional technique. Other way is you become intense devotee of Lord, asking him for the Shreyas. Then the Lord will send a Guru. Then with the Guru again we have to study. Sometimes the God, by His grace, gives the glimpses of Anubhuti. Then He says, but this is only for tempting you towards that, but you have to work it on. Like Bhagavan gave Vishwarup Darshan to Arjuna. It's a Brahmatmaikya both actually. But you have to work on that yourself. After the war is over, आप तुम करो विचार चिंतन, उससे आप खुद को उसको पाना है. Lord has not given Vishwarupa Darshana to Arjuna permanently. It's only just shown just to make Arjuna know that only one without second self is there. In him only everything is projected. And to discover him, you have to transcend all projections. You can transcend all the projections only by one way, by getting out of your system the importance value to them. That importance goes away only when you do what is supposed to be done and don't worry about anything. Doing what you're supposed to do is called a dharma. Don't worry about anything is, don't worry about the phala. So this is a yuddha, this is dharma yuddha. You do it. Don't worry about its phala. Like that, conduct your life for such a long time that all these inner impressions, vasanas go away. Then you will understand one truth alone is there, which was appearing as many. That's what Gita's way of teaching. So Heyam very clearly understood. Gneyam is Paramartha Sadvastu, Paramartha Tattvam. The truth which is behind all the multiplicity, all the duality. And incidentally or obviously, that is my own self. Atma Tattva. Paramartha Tattva is Atma Tattva Eva. Then we saw yesterday Apyani. Very exhaustive we studied yesterday. Aptavyani. Bhagwan's improvement. Karika Kara जो आप्यानि कहा Shankara Bhagwan he makes it as aptavyani. Apyani means it's to be gained. Aptavyani means it must be gained only. Tavya pratyaya Bhashyakara is asking. Tavya pratyaya, wherever it comes, it means it must be done. It's called kartavya, gantavya, praptavya, jnatavya, shrotavya, drashtavya, then bhoktavya, tyaktavya. Tavya pratyaya means to be given. That's called kartavyata. These three, kartavya, karaniya, karya. These three words indicate it must be done. So here Tavya Pratyaya. He said Apyani. Bhagavan says Aptavyani means you must gain them only. Karika Kara is in that state experience already. Therefore he'll just mention, Apyani yaar, tumko janna hai ki kya pana hai. He says not only Apyani, it is Aptavyani. It means you have to feel the Kartavyatva in that. Is it not? You made it as Kartavya for you to come to class. Therefore you are coming every day. Those who have not made, they have 100 options. You also, before coming to the class, you kept your own options. They were Tavya for you. Is it not? Not this one. And therefore you went there. After the class, something else is Tavya, then we go for it. In the same way, the spiritual sadhanas में वो तव्य प्रत्यय हमको अंदर से निर्माण करना है. Tavya means all. Kartavya, Jnatavya, Pratavya, all that. So to the class I have to Gantavya. In the class I should be Shrotavya. That's the class is Shrotavya. After that, when we go to home, notes, then Likatavya, then Mananam, Mantavya, then Dhyanam, Dhyatavya. This is what actually Upanishad says, brother. Atma vare drashtavyaha. How? Shrotavyaha, mantavyaha, nididhyasitavyaha. Why? Atma nidrashte sarvam drushtam bhavati. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Same in Bhagavad also, if you remember. What is the Shreyas? When the disciple asked, Ni Shaunaka Rishi to Sutaha, he said that only Paramatma eva Shrotavyaha, Kirtitavyaha, Dhyeyaha, Pujyascha Nityada. Bhagavan Sarvatma, Shrotavyaha, Kirtitavyaha, Mantavyaha, then Dhyatavyaha. Everywhere the Tavya. What's missing in us is Tavya in spirituality. What is binding us to samsara is again the same word Tavya. हम हर एक को कर्तव्य मानते हैं. और ये कर्तव्य नहीं मानते। इसको कर्तव्य मानो तो ये कर बैठेंगे, उसको कर्तव्य माने तो वो कर बैठते। So we should know which is ultimately to be gained. Depending on that, we will understand what to do. So anyway, apyani is equal to aptavyani. So heyani, what is to be given up? Neyani, what is to be known? Heyani is hatavyani. And every cause you have to kick it away from your life. These three avasthas you have to reject transcendently. That's the meaning of heyani or hatavyani. Here also, the gneyani, the atma vastu is to paramartha tattvam. You have to know it. Gneyam. Now the apyam is aptavyam. What are the aptavyam? First to tyakta bhakya traya eshana. All the eshanas which are pulling you toward the outer world from your heart, you have to give them up. Eshana is desire. So putreshana, vitteshana, lokeshana. The putreshana includes all the human beings and the life with them. All the relative world with the living beings is called putra eshana में आ जाता है. Vitteshana means all the wealth of possessions, powers, everything comes in the desire. Lokeshana is all the investment of this wealth and the people to become happy in one or the other world or one or the other situation. Generally, it is done through yajnayaga, upasana, because as a result of that, we go to a better loka for the happiness. So, immediate happiness is putreshana, little future happiness is vitteshana, and the next life happiness is lokeshana. Lokeshana we fulfill through Yagnayagadi, Vitteshna we fulfill through doing our own Ujjogam, etc. Putreshna we fulfill by showing our love, etc. to them, attachment to them, getting, variety of emotions and all. ये तीन ये बहुत मजा आते हैं. इसको पाने के लिए ही the entire a lot of big chunk of Vedas are there. That's what in the evening class Bhagavat we are studying as all the Pushpita Vakya and Falashruti Vakya. Is it not? Morning, evening. Good. They go together, the class. So beautiful they are, but not as beautiful as the cell which is beyond. If you are stuck up in them, you want that only, you can. Like how many people are caught up in the Kama? How many are caught up in the Artha? There's so many. Some are there in the Dharma level तक आए हैं. अब वहीं फंसे हैं, रहने दो, कौन माना करेगा आपको? But when you know that this is greater than that, then we come out of it by rejecting it. So, Tyakta Bahya Eshana Traya is a necessary thing. And you gain it. How to do? You by only all is only thing. याद रखो विवेक चूड़ाम ने जो कहा है, all bondages come and remain as long as we don't directly target the thing which we are doing, called as avichara. When you directly target your intellect towards that, called as vichara. That avichara creates all the bondages. When you start doing vicharana, the bondage goes away. It's only non-thinking leads to bondage. Right? You start thinking, you will see the things become so clear in understanding, then there's no bondage. Avichara kruto bandha vicharena nivartayetu. Non-thinking only, because of which these three ashanas we are entertaining, when you deeply think about their reality, truly unbiasedly we see, दो 4% सुख होता है उसमें 95% unnecessary struggle, headache only. You have to be very unbiased in that and personal. Don't compare with others. Look for yourself. Is it not? Now I'll give my example. I don't know how much it fits. Don't misunderstand me. Don't scold me. See, I sometimes remember you all, and I feel like you are such wonderful people. I have your all families there, friends are there, relatives are there. You are enjoying so much wonderfully, going here, there. Somebody there to ask you, "Kaise ho, kya ho?" And to see me, man, nobody like anath pada hu. Suddenly, when this thought comes, another thought Bhagavan gives with all the laughter. Says, Are Bekuf, you look at them, they may be having all that, but behind that, their entire time, mind, energy, everything is gone for that only. They are not able to look even little out of this side. तुम देख कोई टेंशन नहीं. ना बच्चे ना स्कूल भेजने हैं उन्होंने, ना उन्होंने शादी करानी है, ना समधी के साथ करे, कुछ टेंशन. You understand it? If you look at that way, then that type of feeling comes. If you see this one, this both are vichara, but दोनों में किसका वेल्टेज ज्यादा है बताओ. From the spiritual sadhana standpoint, if the sadhana is not taken into mind, like that Atma Deva in Bhagavad Purana, he will insist that sannyasi only to give the phala so that he will have the son, the Dundukari or Gokarna. It's all vicharana. When we do the deep vicharana, we come to know all self-created, nothing required. But it should be done individually, personally, unbiased, not for any outer gain or any blaming anybody. No, mujhe mere liye. We have to be very serious in spirituality. Spirituality is by me, on me, for my own rejection to discover my own real self. No other person is involved. Take the help of other person thought in your mind, like I gave the example now, for yourself to get out. So विचार की बात कह रहे हैं, विचारणा से ये सब छूट जाता है. What are they? The three ashanas. Why? Because Bhashyakara said that to be the first one. Then how to survive, how to live life? Bhikshuna. Become a bhikshu. Bhikshu is what? He is not dependent on anything and nothing he makes depending on him. Real? Clear? He only makes the body survive. For is to do sadhana. For that he goes to 7 houses for begging. एक बार मिल गया, उस दिन के लिए एक बार खा लिया, खत्म बात. He is fully free in his mind, fixed in his mind to be free. Like we are fixed in our mind to be bound. हमने सब फिक्स कर लिया है, इस घर में रहना है, ये करना है, वो करना है. Then all that fixation is binding us. He is fixed in other way around. I live in the body for sadhana and I'll make the body sustain by giving this much. It is fixed. Beyond that नहीं सोचना. Like some people are there fixed. क्या है, खाने के बाद, खाने से पहले दोनों वक्त बीच में खाते रहेंगे. Therefore they look out for something to eat only after eating. There are many people like that. Wife has served, they eat and dining table, again go to kitchen और फ्रिज में से और कुछ के निकाल के खाते. फिर वहां से कोई डब्बा ले जाके बेडरूम में रख लेते. They are like that, the glutton like of people. There are some other people, सुबह ब्रेकफास्ट किया तो पानी तक नहीं छूऊंगा मैं दोपहर में, दोपहर तक. That's the fixation of them and they live like that also. In the same way, bhikshuna means a conviction, a fixation in life. That neither I depend on anything nor I make anything or anybody depend on me. Such person was free to contemplate, else he'll be in the obligation, no? Bhikshu is a mature life for spirituality, is a necessary qualification. And it can be achieved more easily when everything is given up consciously, though it is a little painful for you and others. If that cannot be done, at least little you can do at home. Is it not? You can decide. A temporary bhikshu, like Gurudev used to give the orange gowns to everyone who used to attend the camps in Siddhabari. The indication is what? These 7 days when you are in the camp, you are a bhikshu. You are sannyasi. Means what? Don't think about anything of the home from where you came. You came here to think of the truth, no? अब दोनों मिलावट करो तो कैसा होगा, इसलिए 7 दिन and 7 days के बाद you should take that, because when you have to go back to your home to perform your duties there. It's a sample given to you. The difference in the life as well as difference in the thought, difference in the contemplation when you are there, when you are here. When you have enjoyed this satsanga by being a bhikshu like 7 days, keep this as goal. Then finish up all those obligations there. Then adopt this and realize. For that he used to give that gown. But people used to misuse it. क्योंकि उसको पहना, अंदर का कपड़े खराब नहीं होते, 7 दिन वही पहना, बहुत धोने की जरूरत नहीं है. Funny people. In this way, you can also tell your home, where throughout the day I am samsari with you, let us fight. But 2 hours I am a bhikshu, morning 9 to 7:30 to 9:30, 9:15. In the same way, afternoon, evening. You know, ये सब जो ना मदद करने वाले, काम करने वाले thought fixations. कोई गलत नहीं है उसमें, उसका फायदा है. So do you do, when you do the puja, don't disturb me for half an hour because you are dedicated to that. Or when you are working from home to the office, you are closing your doors, telling them, I'm at home, but I'm like in the office only. Don't disturb me, I'm on the work. And they do it also, the work. In those 4 hours being at home working, they are not even thinking about anybody at home also. Because office mein jaise waise hai. In the same way, if not the permanent bhikshu, which is necessary ultimate quality, everybody will reach to that inside. But to begin with, temporary bhikshu. Every day we have to reject from being a grahastha and enter into being a bhikshu for few hours, consciously, deliberately. Because that time only When you are consciously, deliberately withdrawn, you can do little deeper contemplation, which gives the understanding and taste of the higher self that inspires us further. And not only we have to decide it that way and sit down for study or meditation, but while sitting and doing meditation, also we have to ruthlessly say, in this 1 hour, I don't belong to anybody. Nobody belongs to me. I belong to the Lord belongs to me. I am surrendering to Him through devotion, or I am discovering through contemplation. इस तरह से ही हमको अपने मन के भगाव से बचाना है. That's what you do when you go to a temple. This half an hour I am devotee. My mind should not be disturbed by anything. Or I am now in front of my guru. This 1 hour I am his disciple, or I am just at his feet with my devotion. That doesn't mean the samsara is gone from the heart. He is there, but temporarily subsided. That helps. That works. This is how the second thing is achieved. Bhikshuna. These two, when you do, then the expression of these two, Tyakta Bhyatrayeshana and Bhikshu, are these three things. So beautiful. Panditya, Balya, Maunakhyani. These are the three things. Plus Bhikshutva, fourth one. Then Tyakta Bhyatrayeshana, the fifth one. These five are called as Apyani, means Aptavyani. One must reach to them, gain them, must establish in them, ensure that yes, now no three ashanas in me, I am the bhikshu now, and these three I have got. What are the three? Panditya. Panditya is scriptural knowledge gain करने के बाद from the guru through satsanga, continuous constant awareness regarding the difference between atma and anatma, jada chetana. That is called as panditya. As I told yesterday, panditya is a knowledge which is dormantly stored in you. What is the use of that? Panditya is that ability or capacity. When you show it outside, people also are benefited, and you also are benefited because they reward you, they award you. Is it not? I know the singing. That's a panditya. अब singing मेरे अंदर है, क्या फायदा उसका? But when I sing it in front of a crowd and they enthrall and enjoy, and then in turn they appreciate it, ताली बजाओ, then the use of panditya. In the same way, the knowledge of scriptures in which why the self is real and is explained, and how the world is unreal or mithya is said, then you have to use that knowledge continuously to do the viveka of the Atma, Anatma, Nitya, Anitya, Bandha, Moksha, and reject the Anatma, Bandha, Karaka, and only identify with the Moksha, Karaka. That is called as Panditya. You know how to earn money, but if you don't use that, you will remain only as a beggar. As a poverty के साथ रहेंगे हम, pauper. So that knowledge you have to do practically. That's called Panditya used. In the same way, Panditya is very clearly explained that the ability to constantly have the awareness of the knowledge and it is applied. All the time it is. 24 hour, 24 into 7 into 4 into 12 into as long as we are alive. 24 घंटे हर दिन, इससे 7 दिन, तो ऐसे 1 हफ्ता हो गया, ऐसे 4 हफ्ते 1 महीना हो गया, उसको 12 से मल्टीपल, हमेशा यू आर इन दैट पांडित्य. Even while like doing the class, what is he? There is a karta who is speaking. Beyond that, the mind is talking, thinking about the subject matter. But all of that only in the anatma loka. The Shuddha Atma is only a sakshi to all of that. This is called as panditya. To be able to discriminate and reject the not self as not self, self as the self. दैट एबिलिटी वी हैव टू गेन. और ऐसा नहीं मिलता, और एक बार करने से नहीं होता, लगातार उसमें होना है. ये पंडित इज पंडित. एनी टाइम व्हेन ही इज गिवन दैट पर्टिकुलर फील्ड opportunity, he performs. That's called panditya. In the same way, all the time we have to be in that habitually. Habitually kami, habitually krodhi, habitually a person of ego, dominance. We know all of that. Habitually a meek, submissive person. सबके सामने झुके रहता है, बेवकूफ नंबर 1, like a doormat. Is it not? In the same way, positive side, habitually पंडित जी. Not पंडित of all that. चोटी लगाया, फिर ये चंदन लगाया, मुंह में पान लगाया, दो बड़े बड़े नींबू के माले पहने. नींबू महंगा हो गया आजकल, चलो रुद्राक्ष माला. That's not panditya. Panditya is the word to be respected, revered, only when that person has the Shuddha Shastra Jnana of Paramatma is this, everything is Anatma, and he's living that, trying to experience it genuinely, seriously from inside. In fact, a Panditji can never be a Pujari. A Panditji can never be Jyotishya. A Pujari and Jyotishya should transcend their profession to become Pandit. I am telling very clearly so that we should not be caught up anywhere. It's not to blame others. सब पंडित पुजारी के पास जाके मत कहना हमारे स्वामी ने कहा तुम्हारे पास तत्व ज्ञान नहीं थे, तुम पंडित हो, पुजारी हो, नहीं तो नहीं हो, है क्या बताओ? Don't ladder with him. I'm telling for ourselves. So Pandityam is the Viveka Shakti, to be able to continuously discriminate between Atma and Atma, for which the knowledge is gained by serving the Guru and listening from him. Shastra, Vedanta, at least 10 to 12 years. अब हमने स्टार्ट किया, 2 साल हो गए। अब इसी में इतना हमें फँसे रहना है, मतलब रहना है कि आवर एंटायर पर्सनैलिटी इज़ फुल्ली सोक्ड इन दैट। Just like our life was soaked in samsara, there were every layer of our personality became samsaric so far. You know, अब ये करवा रहे हैं हमको। जैसे उस सोने को परशुवेदी से टच कराओ या पर्टिकुलर लिक्विड में डालो, सोना नहीं, आयरन को, इट बिकम सोना। There is a dravya in which you put an iron metal, it becomes the gold for a particular period of time. Something is there, some liquid is there. So to an item, it's called Parshuvedi. Touchstone, something it's called. The iron touches it, it becomes iron. It's become gold. So to till our entire personality gets soaked into, we have to keep on listening for those 10 to years. Then only the Panditya comes to us. Now you understand the need of being with the Guru for such a long time. And being Guru with such a long time, not in samsara way. Again, they're only doing the upasana, doing the seva, shuddha karna apne antahkarana ko, not allowing any attachment to be formed. They're always exposed to only the Shastra. Guru is also, it's a tough taskmaster, not only teaches in the class, he gives so much of homework that this fellow ko marne ka fursat nahi hai, that is only delving on this, dwelling on this truth only. That's what Tapon Maharaj. That's how Gurudev could gain all that knowledge in such a short span of time. If one gets such a tough taskmaster, he's lucky and you are unlucky. You have not got such. Okay? Panditya has so many things to be clearly understood. सिर्फ पांडित्य बोल के आगे जा सकता हूँ मैं, बट पांडित्य मीन्स विवेक, विवेक मीन्स आत्मानात्म विवेक, और ये पक्का होना है, हैबिचुअल होना है, रेगुलर होना है, एंड दैट हैपेंस टू यू ओनली व्हेन यू गेट नॉलेज फ्रॉम द गुरु, दैट आल्सो नॉट वन डे, सो मेनी इयर्स यू हैव टू स्टडी, देन ओनली द नेगेटिव थिंकिंग और नेगेटिव इंक्वायरी इन अस, व्हाट इज गुड व्हाट इज बैड, अबाउट द वर्ल्डनेस व्हिच भोग आई हैव टू गेन, ये सारा निकल जाना है. Such person of true Panditya, wherever is there in the surface of the globe, wherever he is, his only mind thinking is what is Nitya Anitya, what is Atma Anatma. ऐसा होना चाहिए. Like a business minded fellow, where business have to do, which business have to do. He has got some, he is a distributor, let us say. अब मैं particular कौन कस्टमर को मैं पकड़ के होलसेलर को डिटेल को भेजूं, always his mind is thinking that he is going on doing inquiries. In the same way, a Pandita is he who is conscious always about the Atma and Anatma. Pandityam. Okay? Second is Balyam. Balya means the childlike innocence. Childlike egolessness. Childlike reactionlessness. Childlike not having value to so many impressions of the past, nor is worried about the future. Children देखो जो खेलते हैं ना, इतना आनंद से खेलते हैं कि दे आर इन द प्रेजेंट ओनली, दे आर नॉट वरीड अबाउट फ्यूचर. अब मम्मी पापा उसको बुलाते रहे, बेटा तू पढ़ाई कर, नहीं तो फेल हो जाएगा, नहीं तो नौकरी नहीं मिलेगी, नहीं तो कोई शादी नहीं करेंगे तेरे को. दिस आर ऑल फनी कॉन्सेप्ट दैट फेलो, दे आर इंड्यूस्ड. वो उनके लिए ले लेता है वो. अदरवाइज ही सेज आई एम हैप्पी इन द प्रेजेंट प्लेइंग द स्पोर्ट्स. दैट्स कॉल्ड एज बाल्य. Being in the present, no regrets of past, no anxiety of the future, not reacting to anything, egolessness, that simple humbleness, like innocence, the surrenderness is called as Balya. In Balya, you can bring the devotion aspect also, like child surrenders to the mother or father, in the same way, surrender to the Lord or the truth. Wherever we feel the word surrender, it's not the point of surrender is important. Here, the experience of surrender is important, where the ego is zero. शरणागति में निरंकारता मुख्य है. किसको हमने शरणागत किया सेकेंडरी है, लेकिन कोई ना कोई नहीं हो तो हम कर नहीं सकते, इसलिए किसको पकड़ के उनको हम शरणागत होते. Otherwise, Sharanagati is a continuous experience. Lord Krishna is there in front or not, Rama is there or not, Guru here or not, you are always in the Sharanagata sthiti. In the Sharanagati, their ego is not there. That ego surrender. Aham is not. That's called Balya. Because when you gain Panditya, means the theoretical knowledge, always along with the knowledge, the ego becomes stronger. And that ego want to become more and more stronger by using that knowledge. By using that knowledge in the outer world. Then he is not doing it for himself practically, so he will always be away from experience. Therefore, the childlikeness of Balyatva is very essential. Balya also means balasya bhavaha. Means that panditya ko use karne ka strength every moment is called a balya. See, Sanskrit language, when you know along with grammar, then you can understand the words in various means. Generally, balya means bachpana. This is what we all know. But balya means balasya bhavaha. It is the feeling of strength, balya. This is a Sanskrit meaning of that word. दोनों का कोई संबंध ही नहीं है, but if you know Sanskrit, you can understand it like this also. So along with Panditya, Bala, like so many things we have knowledge, but we don't have the conviction or strength to implement that knowledge. Therefore, Balya means the strength to do the Viveka continuously according to Panditya. One meaning of Balya. Second is like the child. Non-possessive and what do you say, himself taking as something. He is not having a specific identity in him too much strongly. So, egolessness, no worry about past and future, simplicity, childlike, ready to forgive or forget, non-reaction. They are all like balya. बच्चों की तरह रहना. Balya. And that's why you see the highly matured, those gurus, jnanis, one side they very strongly scold us or guide us. ये सब भी चलता है depending on the disciple or bhakta. Otherwise, you see like balya only they are. Balya, like child. Somebody has misunderstood you or insulted you. Balya, to kya? Who am I know it. No. Let them interpret. एक दिन जानना है तो will they know one day? They don't know. Why? How should I bother? I know what I am. No. Like a child, it doesn't make any issue. The Balya Lakshana is so important here. That in that there's humbleness, simplicity, unassuming. That's what the word I was looking for. Unassuming. Non-assuming of anything. Like a child, at that age of 4, 5 years. He's not a husband. He's not a father. He's not a son-in-law. He's not the brother-in-law. He's not a doctor or lawyer or engineer. He's not a politician. He's not a votable citizen. He is not an officer. He's not a driver on this. He is not anything. Balya is that beauty. He's not the watchman at home. He's not a cook. He's not a person to serve. एक बच्चे को आप देखोगे ना, इज फ्री फ्रॉम ऑल assumptions, all egos. He has no identity. That's called बाल्या. क्या मजेदार है कि नहीं? इसलिए सबको बचपन अच्छा लगता है और इसलिए बचपना लगातार लगाते ही रहते हैं. वैसे चाइल्डिश नहीं होना है, चाइल्ड लाइक विथ ऑल मेच्योरिटी. बाल्यम, wonderful it is, lovely. As you grow in, then some science or technology taught, then you have to enter into that field and work there, earn that. क्या टेंशन है, वर्ल्ड में अच्छा है वो, that you become successful, you are given a medal and certificate, but spiritually looking you are limited only there. So balyam is explained, unassuming non-specific individuality of zero identity based on any criteria. They were non-reaction, non-possessive, non-demanding, simple, humble, surrendering. तो इतने बातें बाल्य एक शब्द में हमारे भाष्यकार ने लिखा, कारिकाकार ने लिखा. कारिकाकार said only apyani. He said aptavyani. And there he added 5. In the 5, first he said tyakta yeshnatraya. Then he said bhikshu. Then he said panditya. Then he said balya. The last one is mauna. What is a mauna? Absolutely. Mauna means non-speaking vocally. Remember, non-acting with all senses unnecessarily, and all the time again and again trying to quieten the mind. Mind quietens only in that state where the running of the mind is not possible or not required. That is called Atma Vastu. The Mauna means just remaining and being as the pure Atma. And these are three connected. Only when you have Panditya, you know the need of being Balya and practice it. Only when you are Balya, then you can enter into Mauna. Only when we are in Mauna, then all these three avasthas are Tyakta, and what is Gneyam, that is experienced. Gneyam, Heya, Gneya, Apya. We are talking no relation. इन तीनों साधनों के बीच में रिलेशन भी देना है. हेय ज्ञेय आप्य रिलेशन वी हैव टू नो. And in the apya also, the relation between tyakta bahyeshana, relation between the bhikshu, then the panditya, then the balya. Final one is mauna. Mauna is ultimate highest state of meditation where we have transcended the thoughting of the mind. And that will happen only in the Atmanishta. When you quieten the mind, Atmanishta happens. When the Atmanishta is gained, mind becomes Mauna. And the mind's Mauna depends on Vairagya. Mind's Mauna depends on the movements of the body. Mind's Mauna depends on the vocal silence. And when you want to talk, the mind gets agitated. When you are agitated in the mind, you want to express this through the mouth. When you have decided that I want to be quiet in the mind, you will stop talking. When you say I'm not going to talk for 2 hours, obviously there's no topic to talk, mind becomes quiet. Mauna. No, this Mauna is Mauna Vyakya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattva means what? Only in the silence the Paramatma is experienced. Therefore, maintaining silence, being in the silence is one of the highest sadhana. Always Mauna. In the Mauna, deep Mauna, a Mauna of, you can see the eyes of Tapon Maharaj, the Mauna in Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. Mauna in all the great Avadutas like Dattatreya. There's such a deep silence. In them, even trace of agitation also is not there. They are in Atma Anubhava. Atma में कोई चंचलता चलनता नहीं होता है. Chanchalata chalanata is the mind only. That movement in the mind only creates world, which we have studied already. So Heya Gneya Apya are over now. Fully thoroughly. Tomorrow I am not going to talk this shloka. This shloka means this portion. कुछ बचा है तो देखेंगे हम. Now the fourth word we have to see Pakyani. Okay. What is that Pakyani? Bhagavan says Raga Dvesha Moha Adayah Doshaha. Raga Dvesha Moha Adayah Doshaha. The shortcomings which are blemishes in our personality. 3 examples are given and all such things. One he gave Raga, the continuous thinking about a thing or being. Dvesha in a attachment manner. Dvesha again continuously thinking of thing or being with the feeling of aversion. Then Moha. Where from these two came Moha? Confusion se hue hai. Ki you should not that we have Raga and Dvesha for anyone. You just deal with, know the person and keep away if required. More than that, in the mind, you do not entertain raga or dvesha. Like that, all other kashayas are there. If we close our eyes and look into, all the chanchalata in the mind is backed by one or the other these negative traits. All of them are called as the raga, dvesha, the kashayas, which really disturb our mind. So attachment to someone, aversion to someone, then anger towards someone, desire for something. Is it not the jealousy because of someone, the thought of vengeance or this taking that revenge, etc. And then greed that more and more I want. So the kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, irsha, dvesha, asuya, ये सारे कहते हैं इनको कषाया. उसको क्या करना है? पाक्यानी मीन्स पक्तव्यानी. आई एक्सप्लेन यस्टरडे कि इसको इतना गरम गरम उबाल दो कि वो गल कर निकल जाए. That garam garam ubalna is feeling so much frustrated in us because of these negativities with such a heat that one day you decide that I'll reject all these things and you try to do it, you will see that the mind is free from all this kashaya. And this is the most important thing. If these pakya vastus are not removed from the system, they will not allow the other 3 to happen. The heya to do the heya, the gneya to do the gneya, then the apya to be apya. इनको करने नहीं देंगे अगर ये पाक्य वस्तुओं को पाकिस्तान नहीं भेजेंगे तो. You have to throw them away. Pakyani. Pakyani is very crucial, very important thing. I feel like explaining it exhaustively, but पता नहीं क्या time. इतना है समझ लो कि these are the things, first of all, are cause of dukkha, and I'm entertaining them from such a long time. This thinking should start. And every disappointment and failure in the life, Bhagavan gives only for us to do this type of pakana. The other pakana, what we are doing, they are created more and more. When your drushti is outside, then the raga dvesha will become the negative way pakana, means becoming more and more stronger inside. But if you think them from inside, ki, these are the bacteria or virus or fungus which are there infecting my mind, infecting the seeker in me. Therefore, I must get out of them. This type of pakna. That generally should be done immediately after the age of 50, once you have gone through the entire life and the people and the interaction. देखो एग्जाम्पल्स अलग होते हैं एक एक के जीवन में, लेकिन सबका सार यही होता है that you have inside these negative qualities, depending on that you are relating with the world, which is not correct. Therefore, the world has kicked you, therefore, you are disappointed. Going into the world, getting kicked by the world, getting disappointed is common to all, but the pattadi techniques are different, the ways are different. Somebody kicked by the people, somebody kicked by the projects, somebody kicked by some items. Kicking is same, but the way of kicking may be different. So the paktavyani, the pakyani, there also tavya pratyaya Bhagavan uses, Shankara. So heyani, hatavyani, gneyani, gnatavyam, then apyani, aptavyam. Here also pakyani, paktavyam. So when you focus on me, why I should have this anger? How much I am becoming agitated? Medically, तो वो कहते हैं because of the anger, so much of mind is exhausted and tired. He tired, exhausted mind and entire blood circulation is disturbed. Parts of the body also get damaged. में वो कहते हैं फिजिकली भी नेगेटिव इमोशन के कारण साइकोसोमैटिक डिसीज सब इसलिए होते हैं. पीपल एंटर इनटू डिप्रेशन, ये सब इसी से हो रहे हैं. Why am I having that passions, that greeds, that too much of that expectation or the raga or the hatred? Why am I angry? No, you have to go into the roots of them. From the root, you have to uproot them. That's it. You have to make that heart of the land free from these all weeds. Then only you can sow the proper seeds of Tattva Jnana in that. Not otherwise. पकड़ के नहीं रखना इस कचरे को और ज्यादा हो गया बहुत. बाहर मुस्कुराना है, अंदर स्माइल करना है, अपने अंदर के आत्मा आनंद में रहने का कोशिश करना है. अदर देन दैट बाय हैविंग अटैचमेंट टू समवन कुछ भी नहीं होने वाला एक्सेप्ट योर टाइम एंड हिज टाइम इज वेस्ट. Time is wasted, that's it. And also by hating someone, you're only disturbing your own mind. Raga, Dvesha. Is it not? क्या होने वाला है उससे? अल्टीमेट कुछ नहीं होना. जो अभी तक हमने राग द्वेष रखा पास में, क्या हुआ उसका आउटकम? They were only binding us to the world and samsara, no? Do we want to continue them? Then we are not a seeker. In this type of thinking, we have to slowly gullify them, melt them, dissolve them. They have to dissolve inside only. You can't throw them out. That's what you are doing so far, throwing the raga dvesha outside in terms of reaction with the people. अभी बाहर कुछ नहीं करना, अंदर है उसको गला देना. बहुत बढ़िया थॉट है ये. Among all these four thoughts of heya gneya apya pakya, heya gneya apya are anyway known, familiar, million times we heard. But this pakya, why it is called as paktavya and how it is to be done is more important. First, you know what are the things which have to be deleted. These are the raga dveshadi, he said, moha. Then paktavyani, when it is inside only with this deep heated contemplation, dissolve. Like you do when somebody disappointed you or made you miserable, you do the pakyani. You think about. Till you don't think, you continuously expect that person to love you. But that was already left you. You don't know that. It takes time for you for 6 months, 7, 8 months. Then you think, oh, this is a case. Anyway, the life is like that, cannot stop. And nobody's life is for anybody. Everybody has their own way. What are you doing? Your raga toward that person, slowly you are doing Paktavyani. But it won't go overnight. You will still become miserable. Like that, it continue few months, 6 months. Depending on your depth of attachment. If your attachment is not at all there, like no attachment to the guru मर गया तो 2 मिनट में भूल जाते हैं हम, वो अलग बात. But to some relations you have the deep thing. Then as much the depth is there, so much time it takes. But one day you will realize, no, I need not attach to that person. You can see in the world people married, living such a wonderful life, 5-10 years, but suddenly लड़ाई होगा, then they get the divorce. While taking divorce, the two minds are there in that. बिना उनके रह भी नहीं सकते और रहकर भी रह नहीं सकते. Somehow the prarabdha also led that they got separated. And then they still feel like, अरे we could have found some other alternative. But फिर भी but this fellow is not good. Slowly you are doing the Paktavyani inside. Toward the job, toward the place, toward the people, whatever the emotions of raga, dvesha, expectation, attachment, vengeance, frustration we have, in सबको हमें गला देना है. General point is what? First list out these 6-7 things and say that they have to eliminate it. And generally उनको पका के eliminate ही करो. Don't worry about towards whom they are there. Means I have raga to this person. So to this person I will remove raga is not a correct answer. Because you may remove raga for this person, but you will have again somebody else. फिर क्या फायदा उसका? What you have to say? Not only I have to remove this raga for this person, but I have to remove the raga only permanently. So I am not attached to anyone. I love everyone. I value everyone. I am with everyone, depending on requirement. Interesting? Dvesha, in the same way, from this person I have to get out of hatred. But hatred itself is wrong. Therefore, I have decided wherever I am placed in the whole world, I will not hate anything or being. So too, this person disappointing me, not giving what I want. So I must get out of the expectation from this person. Expectation itself is wrong. Therefore, never expect from anyone. Anything you want, you work on yourself. That's it. नहीं मिला तो नहीं मिला तो मौज करो. So to kama, the most frustrating this kamana. So as much as possible, let me reduce this kamana in me. The only way to reduce kamana is there's no second alternative. You are always with God. This is the only way you can come out of kamana. There's no way. Because anything other than God you see, you will have kamana. Toward the God, when you see, you will drop kamana and kama vyakti. You become one with Him. भगवान के तरफ दृष्टि लगाने के अलावा कामना का निकालने का कोई दूसरा तरीका नहीं. Like that Kamadeva looked at Lord Shiva. Shiva looked at him. Shiva remained. Kamadeva became Bhasma. You understand? The Kamana in me is the Kamadeva me. Shiva is Bhagavan. Look at him so that in his vision I get burnt or my desire in me gets burnt. There's no other way. Desire for the Lord alone will remove the other desire. You look for the other alternative throughout dunya, you will not get anything else. And you can never get desire till we die. Only to get desire again when we are born. कामना नहीं छोड़ेगा, आप कुछ भी करो. फिर क्या करे, उसका डायरेक्शन बदलना है. Instead of desiring for the world, you have to desire for the God. Desire for the world breeds the desires. Desire for the God gets us the God. God is so infinite, there will no more be desire further. But you have to understand it, accept it, practice it till that is reached. So in this way, 4 things we have studied today also. Now, sarvani etani, all these. What are these? Heya, gneya, apya, pakyani, vigneyani. Vigneyani, kena, vikshuna. Why? Upayatvena. For what? To know the self. So to be established in the self as the upaya are the means, by the bhikshu or jignasu or the one who want to become mukta, he must know all these 4. So etani heya gneya apya pakyani vigneyani kena, by whom? Bhikshuna, means the one who want to know the truth. Upayatvena, because they are the unavoidable, inevitable means to know the truth. Iti arthaha. This is the meaning of this. First line. अग्रयाणता वर्ड इज यूज्ड. अग्रयाणता मतलब प्रथमता, सबसे पहले. सब तैयार रखो, फिर जर्नी शुरू करो. तो सबसे पहले तैयारियां करना. So to हे ज्ञेय आप्य पाक्य are the upaya for knowing the truth. Therefore सबसे पहले you gain them. Vigneyani, they must be understood and known, used, kept ready for using. Now the second line, Tesham Anyatra Vignayat Upalambha Trishu Smrutaha, it is little important for us, not as much as this first line from the sadhana standpoint, but from the understanding standpoint important है. हम इसको कल टच करेंगे थोड़ा सा. Then enter into the 91st mantra. प्रकृति आकाशज्ञेयः सर्वे धर्मा अनादयः विद्यते नै नानात्वं तेषां क्वचन किंचन आदिबुद्धा प्रकृत्यैव सर्वे धर्मा सुनिश्चिताः यस्यैवं भवति क्षान्ते सौमृतत्वाय कल्पते प्रकृत्या एव सॉरी सौमृतत्वाय कल्पते आदिशान्ता ह्यनुत्पन्नाः प्रकृत्यैव सुनिर्वृताः सर्वे धर्माः समाभिन्नाः अजं साम्यं विशारदं वैशारद्यन्तु वै नास्ति भेदे विचरतां सदा वेदनिम्नाः पृथग्वादाः तस्मात् ते कृपणा स्मृताः अजय साम्ये तु एकेचित् भविष्यन्ति सुनिश्चिताः ते हि लोके महाज्ञानाः तच्च लोको न गाहते अजय शुभज संक्रान्तं धर्मेषु ज्ञानमिष्यते यतो न क्रमते ज्ञानम् असङ्गं तेन कीर्तितम् अणुमात्रेऽपि वैधर्म्ये जायमाने विपश्चितः असङ्गता सदा नास्ति किमुतावरणच्युतिः अलब्धावरणाः सर्वे धर्माः प्रकृतिनिर्मलाः आदौ बुद्धाः सदा मुक्ताः बुध्यन्ते इति नायकाः क्रमतेन हि बुद्धस्य ज्ञानं धर्मेषु तायिनः सर्वे धर्माः सदा ज्ञानं नैतद्बुद्धेन भाषितं दुर्दर्शमति गम्भीरम् अयं साम्यं विशारदम् बुद्ध्वा पदमनानात्वं नमस्कुर्मो यथा बलम् इति गौडपादीय कारिका समेत माण्डुक्योपनिषदि चतुर्थमलाथ शान्ति प्रकरणम्. ओम 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 ओम. Those 6, 7 of you who are so regular in the morning class, any day if you miss the class, you must see the YouTube or Skype and must listen and keep that nishtha of continuity. I am telling this to particularly those who want to not miss the continuity as well as the blessings of the Guru Parampara. Those who are regularly coming, for them it's a request. Others, those who can come once in a while, that's okay. Any day they come, little of the information, inspiration they get. But you and I who are studying regularly, our nishtha is different. Because I am seeing one or two people missing classes, Upanishad, who were very regular earlier. And they don't report to me whether they are listening it otherwise or not. So I took this unnecessary stupid responsibility of telling you, even if you miss class for some reason, don't miss it. Offline, when you are free, you must listen and keep the continuity. And more powerful, demanding, commanding request is what? Why do you miss the class? सुबह ही कर रहे हैं, थोड़ा जल्दी उठ के काम करके आ जाओ. क्या? Upanishad class, don't miss. You continue as long as I am alive. Or kill me and stop class. They go to the next Upanishad, Taittiriya. I'm excited already about it. Though we are enjoying this Mandukya, the final shlokas, which are very sublime, but the same truth or reality, we are nearing little more in another vehicle called as Taittiriya Upanishad. And the chanting of those mantras, which we do every day, and bhasha, and let me see if I can do. I don't know, I've never seen it. उसको वार्तिका भी लेंगे हम सुरेश्वराचार्य जी का. Vartika is the vritti, the explanation of the tough words in the bhashya of Shankara. Shankara explains what is there in the main Upanishad. Vartikara explains what is said by Bhagavan Shankara. Whichever is non-easy, little complicated. Vritti कहते हैं उसको. Vartika. So only on Taittiriya Bhashya and I think Bradanyaka or Shando किसी तीन में our Sureshwara ji has written Vartika. Means sub commentary on the commentary of Shankara. Whatever, morning class, don't miss. And now, please, you and I, a very important secret I am revealing. After this much our being together, I know definitely you are fed up of me. Don't look at the person now. Look at only the Shastra. You are a student of Shastra. You have to become thorough in the knowledge indicated by Shastra. Once that conviction comes up, fully all knowledge is there, memory is there. Even the Shastra also is side pay. You are yourself Shastri. Sit and you do your own contemplation. But before that, you must study Shastra. But before that, be regular in the class. In the class to study Shastra. Don't bring any other thing in mind, especially in the morning class. Don't worry. और कैसा उस दिन क्लास हुआ. Oh, don't even worry about those decorations and adorations. Sometime I may speak slow, sometime very fast, sometime lot of examples, sometime many few example, sometime I quote, sometime I not quote. These are all the packages. Don't worry about it. Every day drushti should be main mantra and bhashya. How it is being explained, how much more depth we got, more wide understanding we got, helped us in deeper conviction. Focus on that. This is my request to you. शास्त्र को मत छोड़ो आप, बिकॉज वो एक ही आलम्बन है, आधार है. Is it not? Remember it. One or two people I am seeing them for some reason. Don't miss. You may miss the class because of some work you may have, but बाद में सुन लेना. And don't need to report to me. I also not interested in you, like you are not interested in me. I am only interested up to this. Not reporting. कोई जरूरत नहीं. वो करो मजा. ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः परमऋषिभ्यो नमः परब्रह्मणे नमः श्रुतिमात्रे नमः अंडुकुमार्चे गौडपादाचार्य वर्याय आदिशंकरद्गुरवे अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. थैंक यू. वेट फॉर